La Cocina is out in theaters, new black and white square ratio drama directed by Alonso Ruiz Palacios, starring Raúl Briones, Rooney Mara, and Ana Diaz. The marketing for this film likened it to The Bear, which I think is only partially fair because while the subject matter does seem similar on the surface, it's actually rather different themes being explored between these two. So this film takes place over a single day in the life of a Times Square restaurant called The Grill. During that time, we follow a few characters from both front and back of the house as they navigate the stress of the service hours, the downtime of the breaks, and the sort of tensions of their life inside and outside work. And where The Bear is really mostly about mental health, La Cocina is, I think, about immigration, about the experience of being a working class, undocumented immigrant trying to make ends meet in modern day America. We see how these people talk, what is on their minds, what they think about, what they feel like in the everyday grind, what problems they face. There's levity and lightheartedness on the surface, but just underneath you can sort of feel the reality crushing them one day at a time, the slow burning resignation that sets in as they readjust their dreams to what is possible and become more and more shackled by life. I think the film can definitely be read also as a metaphor for purgatory. Most of the story, with just one exception of a scene, takes place within the restaurant or in the alley behind it, which is again fenced off. And I haven't realized it until after the movie ended, but that subconsciously makes you feel like a prisoner in there, like you cannot leave, especially with the hardships of the work and the structure of employees and bosses. And to further support the purgatory interpretation, I think that the supernatural element in the ending, which references the earlier story scene, can be viewed as being able to finally ascend and move on and leave this place behind. Now, there are two scenes in the movie which are absolutely spectacular. One is a single shot take, this long take, moving across the kitchen and the restaurant during the chaotic service hours. This takes place right somewhere around the middle of the film, with everyone rushing in and shouting and water from the broken cola machine pouring down the floor. It is just glorious chaos. It's joy to watch. I can't imagine how difficult that was to coordinate. And then the second scene is its perfect counterpart and it takes place very soon after because it's quiet and slow and unmoving, and it's a conversation between the employees in the alley behind the restaurant during the break, and the subsequent story about the green light. And aside from those two, I don't think that the movie is as great, sadly. It drags at times. Some scenes completely didn't work for me, like the sweating contest early on or the ending climax, which was just too much and too over the top. And I also struggled to connect emotionally with Pedro, the protagonist, the sort of main character, who is pretty unlikable and selfish and just a weird asshole to people around him. And I'm also not exactly sure what the movie was trying to say at all times. I think I'm close with the purgatory interpretation, but there are still scenes which appear to be wanting to say something more, something different, and I'm not quite sure what that was. So I thought this was an interesting but ultimately flawed movie with some truly great moments, but not reaching for that greatness for most of its runtime.